Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today we have a discussion video or a thread overlook video, whatever you want to call it, right? We're going to go over this thread. This thread is pretty much, I mentioned this in my earlier video today, where I stated that there was a bug with workshops and caravans and overall item prices. And it all stemmed from somebody making a thread, and then him, some other players, and a developer, they went back and forth, tried to figure out the problem. As you can see, we scroll through here, you can see there's a lot of dev replies, and if we go on the second page, there's going to be a lot of like pictures, and he's gonna give us a lot of information that have to do with workshop, caravans, and item prices. So I thought I'd make like a kind of like a video going over this thread, because it does have some useful info that I think people will want to know about, right? In terms of, you know, obviously income, workshops, caravans, and all of that, right? So I'm going to link this thread down below, and if you guys want to go check it out for yourself, you can. We're going to skim through some parts. We're going to read all the developer posts and see what we can learn, right? So I skimmed through it earlier. I thought it was interesting, so here we are. So let's get right into it, right? So almost no income from workshops and caravans. After the new update, my workshops that normally make 200 and more now make 50 and less. Same with caravans. Instead of making more than 1,000, they make 200 or nothing. I can't afford an army of 50. Fix this, please. Okay, so developer asks, are you playing on 1.4.2 now or 1.4.1? He answers yes. Okay. At 1.4.1, workshop incomes were huge, especially tanneries. True, tanneries were pretty broken in terms of workshops. So players built workshops even when there was no raw material in the nearby villages. Yes, you can literally build tanneries every single place you wanted to, regardless if they had the resource to actually make them work. They just worked regardless. Now you need to examine the world better to find the best places for workshops. An example, you need to find a town with very cheap grain prices to make profit from the brewery. Makes sense, right? Realistic. Some workshops can still bring between 300 to 350 dinars per day average. 300 to 350 dinars per day, and the average is about 100 to 150 dinars per day. So the average workshop should bring you about 100 to 150 a day, and the good workshops, if you can find them, are 300 to 350 a day. Makes sense. I think that's fair. I think workshops are very low risk. I think that they shouldn't be making outrageous money. I think this is perfectly fine, right? Caravan should bring 200 to 300 per day in average. Ooh. I don't know if I agree with this, because they are kind of more high risk, but if that's where they're trying to gear it to go, then it is what it is, right? We're playing their game, you know, it is what it is. We will try to make them a bit more profitable, but not in the game, but not a game-breaking issue right now. Okay, so they do want to fix caravans and make them a little bit more profitable, probably in the future. But like he states right now, that they have other stuff to worry about, and that caravans making less isn't game-breaking, which it really isn't if you really think about it, right? There's a lot of ways to make money in the game other than workshops and caravans, right? Plus, a caravan bringing you profit of 200 to 300 per day. I think it's not fine, but it gets the job done, if that kind of makes sense, right? So then, is this the original player? Okay, so the original player replies, I think it's too low because I have 2 caravans and 2 workshops in a region where the workshop should make much and can't afford 50-man army. My fault, guys. Somebody just called me, so let's get right back to it. So the last thing the player stated, pretty much a reply to what the workshops and caravans are supposed to make. The player stated that it's too low, that he has 2 caravans and 2 workshops in a region where the workshop should make, where the workshop should make more, and he can't afford a 50-men army, right? Can you upload your save game? So the developer pretty much says, hey, I can help you out. Upload your save game. He tells him how to do it, all of that. Okay. Now we have another player that comes in and says, hey, thanks to you and the team for fixing the 25 trade perk bug. As far as caravans, it seems trade levels don't influence it much. My suggestion, keep it the same now, but the trade levels really affect the profits. Seems like a good compromise. If you get more profits, you get more profits if you invest into the trade skill for your companions. Okay, so the player pretty much stated that, you know, if your trade skill's higher, you make more money. in terms of caravans, right? Do I agree or disagree? Yeah, but I don't think it should get out of hand though. I think it should be kind of like a small boost, but it shouldn't get out of hand. Maybe like a perk in like the high level trade that like boosts it or something like that, right? The dev replies, thanks, sorry for my English. Can you explain what you suggest? You mean if a player form a caravan and a companion who has a higher trade level, profits should differ more than the current situation? Yeah, that's exactly what the player means. So if a player forms a caravan with a companion who has a high trade level skill, then the profits should be better, right? That's kind of how, it makes sense that way, right? We have another player. As long as smithing isn't overpowered as it is for money, there is literally no incentive or point in using any other form of money making in the game. Making caravans and workshop generate less income, in my opinion, is not a good decision. In fact, I would argue that you should increase the income, maybe raise the maximum amount of gold per day that you can earn. There's no reason for me to own a caravan or a workshop if all I need to do is make 100k gold, is forge a simple javelin and sell it. Especially considering smithing requires no risk, while maintaining a caravan and a workshop has a huge cost. That has the potential to be plundered and destroyed. Okay, I get the point. Before I look at the dev reply, I get it, but at the same time, I think the developers know that smithing is broken. It's been broken for a while. I think the developers do know that, but raising all the other stuff doesn't really. Just cause, how can I explain this? Since smithing is broken, I don't think the plan is to just raise everything else up to make it also broken, if that kind of makes sense, right? I think they should fix smithing and bring that one weight all the way down, and then I think all the other stuff will balance out, if that kind of makes sense, right? So the devs then reply, smithing mechanics are broken currently. See, like I said, they know. Not others. If there are 10 income sources in game and one is broken, we should not increase all the other 9 to... Oh my god, it's like, Jesus Christ, there it is. Exactly like I stated, right? We should fix what is broken. I am not the owner of smithing mechanics and codes, so I cannot fix it. I am trying to make the other 9 balanced. Okay. So like I stated, if you have all these income sources, it's perfect how he said it. If there are 10 income sources in the game and one is broken, we should not increase all the other 9 to balance it. We should decrease the one that's broken. Boom. And so he's not in charge of smithing, but he's gonna, obviously probably tell the people. They're probably already working on a way to overhaul smithing, to be honest with you, and it might come out soon. Who knows? But it's good that they know that it is currently broken. As you progress through trade levels, it decreases the barter penalty, so you get more profits. In my extensive playthroughs over 1,000 days, there doesn't appear to be a good benefit from companions getting higher trade experience. Increased profits for companion caravans when their trade skill gets higher. Right now, there appears to be a small profit gain with higher trade skill, but a companion with 150 trade should do much better than one with 0, which is not really the case right now. If they increased that profit gain with trade skill gain, then it would give better profits. But would require players to spend skill points into trade, which you should have to do to get the profits. Huh. Yeah, I agree. And to be honest with you, with caravans, it's always so hard to tell because obviously caravans, they buy stuff and they sell stuff and the money goes up and down very rapidly. So it's hard to just kind of like, do an experiment with 100 caravans and see this and that. But I kind of do agree, like if the companion has a lot of experience trading, then he knows exactly what to buy and what not to buy and stuff of that nature, right? Which in turn should turn into more profit. So I agree with it, yeah. Okay. I find it difficult to maintain any form of positive income while having 100 plus troops without smithing. While I would like to see smithing nerfed, that is not what I'm asking for, although I'm not very much looking forward to the nerf. I am more concerned that even with 2 trade caravan and 2 workshops, I'm still generating less than 1,000 gold a day. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this. Because like whenever I played the game, right? So here's how it is. So if you buy a workshop and it's doing garbage, first what I do is I switch it over for 2,000 dinars to a different resource. If it still does garbage, I sell it and then I go to a different town and try a different one. I think you you can't just expect every single workshop that you build to just give you profits. That's not how it works. You know, like someone's give you profits, someone's don't. And I think if you pick the right 2 workshops in this situation, and you know, plus 2 caravans, you should make more than 1,000. You should make more than 1,000. But also, if you have 100 troops, oh, sorry, I went down. If you have 100 troops, you have to understand that that's a lot of daily wages you have to pay, right? So either get rid of more troops or get more workshops and more caravans. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't think that's like the game's issue. I think like you have to find the right, you know, right in between, if that kind of makes sense, right? Considering just how much risk and money that you need to put into these investments, the rewarded income simply is not good enough. Another thing, caravans aren't that big of a risk as people state. I don't know if it's just me, but yeah, they sometimes get taken over. But at the same time, like whenever I started a caravan, it usually went out for a very long time and usually paid off itself. You know, it paid itself off before it got caught. That might just be me, but I don't know. Not to mention the high cost of maintaining troops. Well, yeah, but I think the costs are fine in terms of maintaining troops. I think the wages, I think that's fine. Caravans and workshops should be some of the highest earning income options in the game. I don't think so. As they revolve around the trade skill, I'm not asking you to make the other 9 incomes overpowered like smithing. I'm asking you to not over nerf the 9. Okay, but here's the thing. I don't think they should be the highest. Now hear me out. Why? Because if they're the highest and you could just sit there in a town and do nothing and they could just make money for you, it's just like, what's the point of doing everything else? Kind of the same argument this guy had when it came to smithing. What's the point of doing everything else if that makes you the most money, right? If caravans and workshops made you thousands and thousands per day, what's the point of all the other things? Do you get what do you get where I'm going at? Like, I think workshops where they are right now, I think they are fine. I don't think they need to be making 1,000. I don't even think they need to be making 500. I think 200 to 300 for each workshop is fine, because those are very safe options when it comes to an investment. For caravans, they do make more. They I guess they're more risky, but they're not overly risky, if that kind of makes sense. Also, if you, let's say you get a couple workshops, you get into a couple fights, you sell all that armor and all that gear, you should have enough to afford, you know, a caravan. Even if that caravan gets captured, get into a little bit more fights and you can afford more caravans. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like people are having trouble with money, but at the same time, it's money management. You know, you can manage your money a little bit better and you can get good results, if that kind of makes sense, right? For example, why would you set a maximum value of 350 gold? Because, you know, if they set more than that, it would just be super overpowered. And we've seen it before when, you know, workshops were super overpowered. It was just easy mode. And I don't think the game should be easy mode. I think you should struggle. I think, like, same thing with the wars that people complain about. I think you should struggle a little bit in the game. I think it makes it part of the fun, if that kind of makes sense, right? Villages' incomes can reach upwards to 1,200. And you mean to tell me that a workshop in a bustling city is going to make less profit than some farming village? We don't even take a risk while owning villages. Well, yes, you do. You take a huge risk if you own a village. If you own a village, that means you own a castle or a town. And if you own a castle or a town, that means you're either in a kingdom, or you're either part of a kingdom or you own a kingdom. And if you are part of a kingdom or you own a kingdom, you actually go to war. And you can get that whole settlement taken from you. So, I don't know. These are kind of some weak statements. I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to bash the person who made the statement. I'm not trying to, you know, bash his whole idea. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just giving my opinion of it, right? It's not like nothing like just this person. No. Don't get it mixed up. It's just a discussion, right? If someone raids our villages, we can just wait a week for them to regenerate, and it's nothing ever happened. If my trade caravan is plundered, I'm never seeing that gold again. If my workshop in the city is taken over by another faction, I lose that gold and won't see it ever again. If they take the settlement, you won't see that village income ever again until you make another one or until you take it back over. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, it's also high risk. Village is no risk. I don't know. I don't know about this statement, dog. I ain't gonna cap with you. I don't know about this statement. Again, I ain't just picking on this person. It could have been written differently. I don't know, but I don't know about this statement. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh or something. I don't know. But yeah. No income from caravans. Strongly disagree with workshops being a high-risk investment. True. I think they're one of the Yep. Here we go. I agree. And 100 to... Yep. Exactly. I do agree with this. Caravans are another history, and they are really high-risk investments. Getting 500 so is what I expect from them. This way, we could get our money back in 30 days if we manage to keep them alive. They'll continue giving us money. Caravans are underperforming currently and getting 0 to 300, and I'm seeing my current game. By the way, I'm not using smithing, and I can get enough money to pay wages without a problem. Exactly. I feel like you can get enough money to pay wages without even smithing. You know what I mean? Like, get into a couple fights. Listen, taking over hideouts is underrated in my opinion. Taking over hideouts is underrated. If you take over a hideout with 5 of the, let's say they have 5 or 4 bandits in a hideout, you can get some high-level gear worth like 2, 3, or 4,000. Most of the time, it's pretty significant. So keep that in mind. You lose your workshop when enemy faction takes the city. Yeah, but at the same time, if you put it in a smart spot, plus if you aren't a vassal yet, if you're just independent person, then workshops are still safe. And I think there should be an option to renegotiate and renew your workshop contract with the new faction that's taking over the city, maybe for a fee. Oh, okay, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with this. That would actually be a cool concept. Yeah. If they take it over, right? But then again, but if they're at war with you, I like the concept, but I don't know how it would be implemented. Because if they're at war with you, then having a workshop in enemy territory is kind of weird. I don't know. This will continue to allow you to maintain your business in the city, and you don't have to buy a completely new $16,000 workshop every single time a city changes hands. Again, here's another wild statement in my opinion. I think workshops and caravans should be more expensive. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I think for how much it is, I think it should be more expensive. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm not going to give my reasoning, but I think it's too easy to get. Well, I guess that's my reasoning, right? But there's more reasoning behind that. But let me know what you guys think. Let's move on to the next page. Let's actually get to the developer replies because we've been kind of talking about this for a long time now, all right? So, just sell the workshop for losing it. This would imply that I can see the entire map at all times. I'm in the area. Hey, sometimes you lose it. It is what it is, right? We should fix what is broken. I'm not the owner of Smith & McKinn's. Okay. I appreciate all you guys' effort. I hope my post does not come off as rude or pushy. And also, with that being said, I hope if you watch my video right here, I hope I don't come off as rude or pushy. I'm just critically trying to have a discussion about it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to bash you. I'm not trying. You know what I mean? Sometimes people get the wrong impression of how I come off, right? Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just taking points and discussing them, if that kind of makes sense, right? I really love this game and have invested several hundred hours since early access started. Same. I just thought I would share the concerns I have about the income generation in the game because at the moment I believe that there's a lot more balancing that needs to be done for several skills and methods in order for it to truly be considered fixed. Okay. What is this? God. Oh, that's a lot of playtime. More than me. Thank you for the feedback. All very valuable. I wrote what I think and you wrote what you think. Everybody can have different ideas and that is normal. Big talk. Big talk. I believe this. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Some more discussion. Here we go. That's what I wanted to get into, right? So, currently I'm examining item prices. Yes, there is something wrong with prices. Okay, so there... And we had this, by the way, we had this bug fix already, just for you guys to know that. The bug fix with item prices has already been fixed as of today. Yes, there's something wrong with prices. For example, players should be able to buy olives from 0.2 times to 0.3 times the price of standard price, which is 30 at some Vladian towns, surrounded with olive villages. Okay, so olives should be around 6 to 9 dinars, at most 12, but I see it as at 20. I will go deep into code to see what is broken, okay? If item prices are so close in all towns, caravans and trading merchants, players cannot make enough profit. True. If item prices are so close, even workshop profits decrease because oil press converts olives to oil. If prices of olives are not so low, olive press cannot make much profit. Yeah, so since these were what do you call it? Since the item prices were a problem, it affected all the other stuff, and that's why people saw kind of a drop in income, right? So now we have another post. I found the bug and fix. Tomorrow or next week we will see it in a hotfix, and we did see it today, by the way. We did see the hotfix today, just to let you guys know, right? Now, item prices differentiate much. I also checked caravans, and they're making between 20 to 30K in 1 year, equals 250 to 375 daily average profit. Okay, so you'll get your investment back in less than 1 year, and their average life is more than 3 years. There we go. So by the test that he's done, it shows that most caravans, well, not most caravans, the average life of a caravan is about 3 years. So it's not that risky if you really think about it. And you should get it within 1 year. So I think that's a good, some good info to know in terms of caravans. And we have a little picture of olives being changed back to 9. There it is. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to this. And I think that's about it. So there you go. You got your little infograph and kind of, bug fix and all of that. But yeah, hopefully this was, kind of informative, kind of like a little discussion video, I do a couple of these I do a couple of dev talks and all the other stuff, I try to bring you guys some info that I find. But yeah, without further ado, this will be linked below. Give me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe.